Good morning. So reading in this week's Torah portion by Midbar Sinai Be'el Moed. So it's brought down the second pasuk, Su'u es Rish B'nei Yisrael L'mishpachaysam L'veis Aveisam. And then a little bit further, L'gugalaysam. So we have to live with the parsha. And what is the idea of Su'u Reish B'nei Yisrael? L'veis Aveisam, Mishpachaysam, L'gugalaysam. Mishpachaysam, their families. Beis Aveisam, the families of the household, the fathers. It's connected to Beis Aveisam, 12 Shvatim. Gugalaysam represents the skull. So it's done through Moshe and Aaron, this counting. Now Moshe was the Raya Mehemna. He infused us with Emunah in Hashem, which basically whatever he did was connected with the belief in Hashem. He is a shepherd towards us. And he gives us emunah, he infuses us with belief in Hashem. And then Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen was also a shepherd of the Jews. So what's the difference between Moshe and Aaron? So even though one aspect of Aaron was, like we see by before when the Yidden were in Egypt, that why did Aaron become a shepherd? Because Aaron HaKohen, Aaron Achicha, Yeh Neviacha, that the whole purpose why Aaron became a shepherd. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu did not want to go. He said, Ki kvad pe anechi, I have a hard time speaking. So Kosh Baruch Hu said, okay, don't worry. You don't want to do it. Aaron will be your speaker. He will talk for you. But Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that gave the Torah. Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai, and he gives it over to the Jewish people. He is Milamayla. And since he's Milamayla, so he draws down holiness to the Jewish people. And the idea of Emunah. That is like a Chassan. A Chassan comes from above. Aaron, on the other hand, he worked with the Menorah. The Menorah is one piece, not a bunch of pieces. It's all knocked out, which we know that Moshe had no idea what's going on, how to make the Menorah. So they put it in the fire, and it became a Menorah. And what does Aaron HaKohen do? He lights the Menorah until the flame goes up by itself. So he elevates the neshamis to a higher level. Moshe Rabbeinu draws out the kus to the neshamis, and Aaron HaKohen elevates. How do you become a family? Through a chasna and kala. The mashpia and the makabel, the giver and the receiver. So there's three ways that the counting was done. The mishpachaysam, that is the families that came out of the 70 people. Yetze Yerach Yaakov. The Beis Aveisam is the Shvatim, 12 Shvatim. You count according to the Shvatim. And then the Gugulaisam, it's much higher than the head. Like we say, Suas Reish B'nai Yisrael. The Gugulaisam. What is the skull of the head that protects the head? So that is our Aveda of counting. And that is in every aspect that we have to elevate our neshama. We can't just elevate our neshama leveis aveisam to Atzilus. We can't just elevate it. We have to elevate it to much higher, the Gugulaisam, to the highest levels, which even protects the head. And the same thing is with Sfira Sa'imer. Sfira Sa'imer is the same idea. That we elevate our neshama. We count every day. We refine our soul. We make our soul ready for Shavuos, to receive the Torah. And that's the same idea. To draw down a likus, when you make a bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem, you're drawing down Atah, you God, which is higher than the name. Hashem Elokeinu, our God. So we draw down Hashem and we elevate ourselves. That's the idea of Moshe and Aaron. And the Vesav is to the forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, which Yaakov was the Bechir Shabaves. Yaakov was the choicest of all Aves. He was Rachamim. And there's three ways the Rachamim come out. One is Rachamim, that he has Achmanis on himself, and he takes over, it takes him completely the Achmanis on himself. Then afterwards, Rachamecha Harabim Rachim Aleinu comes down to us. And then a much higher level. But our Veda has to be that with the Rachmanis of Yaakov, we should reach the highest level. And that's why our Veda has to be in the lowest level. To make Adira b'tachtoinim, to elevate tachtoinim. And that's the idea of Avodah and Maisa. How to bring Mashiach through Maaseinu v'Avodaseinu. What is Maisa? And what is Avodah? Avodah is like working on the skin of an animal. So you have to work on it and work on it until it becomes refined in everything else. Maasim comes also from the expression of forcing. That you come to such a low level that you maybe have to be forced to do Torah mitzvahs. So through this, that we do our Avodah, where to be in the lowest level, which that officiates the Dina b'tachtoinim, Dafke, and we'll elevate our soul, we elevate the tachtoinim, until we come to Gugulaisam, to the highest levels. And that's how we come to the ultimate redemption. And when the ultimate redemption will have the 10th counting, which the 10th counting is a 10th to the first counting in Bamidbar, in our Pasha. And like it says, Kvakoras Haya Edroi, Mavir Tzoyne Tachas Shiftoi, Tzoyn, sheep is the Eden of Rahmanis, passion. It's a very calm animal of passion and everything else. So Be'ez Hashem, the counting will be done B'chesed of Rachamim, and then we will be counted the complete counting of the Ashira Asidis, the 10th counting, which all Yidden from all generations. Now we can see also from the first 70 people that came down from Mitzrayim, came over 600,000 Yidden, which were from 20 years and up. So now we'll be counting all the neshamas, all the people from all generations. And then we'll hear Torah Chadasha from Moshe Rabbeinu, and we'll have Moshe Aaron Imayim. Moshe and Aaron will be there. And there'll be the Adlakas HaNeris, the lighting of the Menorah, of the Menorah and the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi, and it should be immediately right now, and we'll be Zeicha to everything should be done B'Simcha V'Tuv Leivav, and we'll have the Gula Amitis V'Ashleima. When does a father give his children stuff? When they're happy. So Be'ez Hashem, we'll do mitzvahs v'simcha v'tuv leivav with happiness and a good heart. We'll go to the Gula Amitis V'Ashleima empty right now. Long live our master, teacher and Rebbe, King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our master, teacher and Rebbe, King Mashiach forever and ever and ever.